Damn phones, Babylons can't crack the code.
What do you two? B Kelly back again with another banger video. And in today's video, y'all, I'm going to be talking about what happened to the top 5 all-time running backs according to the 24/7 Sports Composite rankings since 2010. And as usual, remember to smash that like button, as it does help grow the channel and find its way through the algorithm. Now let's get on into the video. Coming in at number 5 is from the 2019 class is running back Trey Sanders. Now in the 2019 recruiting class, Trey Sanders ranked as a 5-star recruit, the number 6 player in the nation, and the number 1 running back in that class, and he would end up going to Alabama. Trey Sanders is really just beginning his college football career, as he has been at Alabama for now 2 seasons, including a redshirt season as a true freshman in 2019. In his 2020 campaign as a redshirt freshman, he played in 4 games where he had 30 carries for 134 yards, averaging 4.5 yards per carry and 0 touchdowns. Currently, right now, Trey Sanders is competing for Alabama's starting running back spot for the 2021 college football season. Coming in at the number 4 spot is running back from the 2012 recruiting class, none other than Jonathan Gray. Now, Jonathan Gray in the 2012 class ranked as a 5-star recruit, the number 6 player in that class, and the number 1 running back in the nation. Now, he would end up taking his talents to Texas after high school. Jonathan Gray at Texas would be an immediate impact player. As a true freshman in the 2012 season, he showed a lot of potential as the future star running back of the Texas Longhorns. As in 13 games played on 149 carries, he had 701 rushing yards, averaging almost 5 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns. He had his ups and downs, but he definitely showed a lot of potential at that. In the 2013 college football season as a sophomore, he got off to a very hot start, where in 9 games played, in 159 attempts, he rushed for 780 yards, averaging 5 yards per carry and 4 touchdowns, but a torn Achilles would end his sophomore campaign. Ever since his Achilles injury happened in 2013, Jonathan Gray has not necessarily been the same. He had a quick recovery process, but he was not really the same player that he was before. In 2014, as a junior, in 13 games played, he rushed for 636 yards, averaging 4.4 yards per carry, but did have a career high in touchdowns for a single season that year with 7 touchdowns. As a senior in 2015, in 10 games played, he rushed for 493 yards on the season and 3 touchdowns. And just like that, his career at Texas was over, where he rushed for 2,610 yards in his career, averaging 4.5 yards per carry and 17 touchdowns. In the 2016 NFL Draft, he went undrafted, as right before training for the draft, he would tear his Achilles yet again, and that was pretty much the end of his football career. Now, on to the number 3 spot. We have to go to the 2017 recruiting class, where we see the number 3 player in that class and the number 2 running back in that class as well, in Cam Akers. Now, Cam Akers would end up going to Florida State. Cam Akers at Florida State was an immediate impact player as a true freshman, as in his freshman campaign in 2017, in 13 games played, he had an over 1,000-yard rushing yard season, as he rushed for 1,025 yards, averaging over 5 yards per carry and 7 touchdowns. Man was really showing that he was about business. In 2018, as a sophomore, he played in 12 games, but had a little bit of a down season, as he had less carries from the season prior. In this season, he rushed for 706 yards, averaging 4.4 yards per carry and 6 touchdowns. In the 2019 season with Florida State as a junior, he had a lot of the workload placed on him in that offense that struggled for the most part of the season in the pass game. And in that season, he had, in 11 games played, he rushed for 1,144 yards, averaging 5 yards per carry and 14 touchdowns on the ground. After that big season, he would declare his name early for the 2020 NFL Draft, effectively ending his career as a Seminole at Florida State, where he rushed for 2,875 yards in his career and had 27 total touchdowns on the ground. In the 2020 NFL Draft, he was taken in the 2nd round by the LA Rams. In the 2020 NFL season as a rookie with the Rams, he played in 13 games, starting in 5 of them, where he rushed for 625 yards and 2 touchdowns. he is expected to have a bigger impact with the Rams in 2021. The number 2 running back all time since 2010 also comes from the 2017 recruiting class as the number 2 player in this class and the number 1 running back and a 5-star recruit, and none other than Najee Harris. Now, Najee Harris would end up going to Alabama. Najee Harris, when he first got to Alabama in the 2017 season, was not an immediate impact player. As a true freshman in that season, he played in 10 games as a backup and rushed for 370 yards, averaging 6 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns on the year. As a sophomore, his playing time went up, but he was still the backup running back, as in 15 games played, he rushed for 783 yards on 117 attempts, averaging 7 yards per carry about, and he had 4 touchdowns on that season. In 2019, in his junior campaign, he was finally a main back in Alabama's system, as he was finally the starting running back for them for the first time in his career. In 13 games played in that season, he rushed for 1,224 yards, averaging 6 yards per carry and 13 total touchdowns on the ground. Now, in the 2020 college football season, in his senior campaign, he had his best season yet, as in 13 games played on 251 carries. He rushed for 1,466 yards, averaging 6 yards per carry and 26 touchdowns total on the ground. He would officially finish his career at Alabama, where in his career he rushed for 3,843 yards, averaging 6 yards per carry, and 46 touchdowns on the ground in his career, and 57 in total. In his career at Alabama, Najee Harris was a 2020 Consensus All-American, 2020 Doak Walker Award winner, and he won 2 national titles at Alabama as a true freshman and a senior. Now, in the 2021 NFL Draft, Najee Harris was taken in the first round, 24th overall pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Coming in at number 1 on this list from the 2014 recruiting class is Leonard Fournette. Now, in this class, he was the number 1 player in that class and number 1 running back, and he would end up going to LSU. Leonard Fournette, as a true freshman at LSU, put the college football world on fire as a true freshman, as he seemed like a top running back immediately. In 13 games played, he rushed for 1,034 yards, averaging 5.5 yards per carry and 10 touchdowns. In 2015, in his sophomore campaign, he was even better, as in 12 games played on 300 carries, he rushed for almost 2,000 yards, averaging 6.5 yards per carry and 22 total touchdowns on the ground. He even finished in 6th place in 2015 for Heisman voting and was a consensus All-American. In his final year at LSU as a junior, he was limited to only 7 games, but still had a good season where he rushed for 843 yards, averaging 6.5 yards per carry and 8 touchdowns. He had a great career at LSU, but after 2016, he would declare his name early for the 2017 NFL Draft, where he was taken with the 4th overall selection in the first round by Jacksonville. Leonard Fournette has spent 4 seasons in the NFL so far, 3 with Jacksonville and 1 with Tampa Bay. In his career, he has rushed for 2,998 yards and 23 total touchdowns on the ground, averaging 3.9 yards per carry. In Jacksonville, he had 2 1,000-plus yard seasons in 2017 and 2019. In 2020, he played with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where he split the RB room with Ronald Jones and was primarily his backup, as he only started in 3 games in the 2020 season. And in that season, he rushed for 367 yards for 6 touchdowns, averaging almost 4 yards per carry, but he won the Super Bowl in 2020. Well, guys, now that you have made it to the end of the video, remember to smash that like button, turn on them post notifications, and subscribe for more videos. B. Kelly out.